I mean, really, a booth like this, with a soul like this, if you are showing off your kind of fashion sense you got, where would you do that? In a forest? To the deer, the daggers? Rather not. I mean, you're within a city environment, and in a city, the soul like this you need during winter time in Europe, okay, but otherwise, a shoe like this gets too hot. You need sneakers in a city. I was during a whole winter even walking through the wood with sneakers, because within the wood I would walk like 20 meters and there was snow there. I was living in a tent in the financial capital Zurich at the border of the city in a wood, and I did it on purpose. I was kind of homeless because I was looking for a new place to live. The place I've been at in the biggest region of Switzerland in the east, southeast, was boring. You know, I needed a change, and I only ended up there because I left a house where I had a bear, a water bear, you know, that animal that washes all its food, living within the walls, and he was peeing down on me. So when I told my Cuban house owner, please do something, she wasn't. So I left. So the only house I found was within a steep valley, which was really boring to stay at. Then I moved onto the other side of that mountain. Really, just the other side, but then I was in that southeastern region again, where I then wanted to flee after half a year or so. So I thought, you know, let's go to Zurich, because looking at places is best from Zurich. So I was 2 months homeless within that wood, and I just did those 25 meters, even if it were 50 meters, and if the snow were like, I mean, if the snow is 30 centimeters like up here, you need something booty. But if it's just snow, you know, it's so, I mean, the shoes were dirty, but then walking on concrete floor then all day long with these kind of shoes would have, or moon boots or whatever kind of boots, would have felt, you know, strenuous. I was walking quite a bit from the coffee shop to the supermarket to the indoor swimming facility, you know, like that. And so it was best to wear sneakers. When I had left the wood, they were all dirty, and I needed to stamp the floor a few times so that all the excess earth would fall off. And then at the bus station, like when I had made it to where the buses and trams would take me to the city inside, to the center, you know, I was at the outer skirts. I would then take the free newspapers there and clean the shoes a bit better. So just so that, you know, but they weren't wet by then. They got kind of a bit wet because I was wearing them all day and I was sweating, and it was a plastic shoe. So therefore having some leather boot is good if that one breathes. That's really the thing about sneakers, you get sweaty, wet feet. But yeah, I was wearing woolen socks and cotton socks, and that was like something I was changing twice a day when you are on your legs walking inside and outside, and you need to be warm and all of that, you know. Going to bed with wet feet, wet socks in like a 5 degrees Celsius atmosphere in the wood would have been deadly. So I was always putting on dry socks in the morning and in the evenings. But otherwise, you know, the shoe didn't need to be a heavy boot. Because yeah, I was in the wood and I was in the city. So there is no shoe that can do that, right? But walking with a sneaker in a city is easy, better. and some hard shoe that you kind of have to, whatever. So here we go. Here it's about the partition of the hair. She has it in the middle. I talked about Heidi Klum's eye. So she's really into business, Heidi Klum. When she does photo sessions, her business eye looks at us, and the other eye is kind of looking upside or down here, or it just looks wicked on Heidi Klum. Kaylee Cuoco looks at us straight, but even this eye is a bit off. When you look at this eye hits us, the camera. This one is a bit inside. That's because in our brains, this side of the body is dealt with this side of our brain, and this left side of our brain is dealing with languages, calculation, with constructing things. When you talk about love, playing an instrument, or seeing things not focused but simultaneously, it's rather this side of the brain, the right side, which I call the star side. Just to have another word than right and left all the time, because right and left, seen from her, is like different as if me looking onto her. But right side is always seen from the owner of the brain, so to say. So I say the right side, and I also say the eye above the heart. So if this eye above the heart would not be covered, she is not covering either. But she could open this side a bit more, and she would look less like a school teacher. It isn't that she is a school teacher kind of a person. She's very accessible and all, but she could look even better. So Jennifer Aniston knows about that trick of the trade. She's always had her hair parted above her heart. So you need to have that side of the body showing. And also when you tilt your head like this, you show this side of the part of the heart to be accessible to people. So now we know that the elite, because it's just that side of the brain that makes us timid, that makes us caring, that makes us, at least it's not, and that one we can say for sure, it's not this side of the brain. I mean this eye and this side of the brain dealing with math. How much am I gonna earn with this photo? It's not how am I gonna take advantage of the situation I'm in right now. So when someone looks at you tilting the head like this, then he or she is also showing their collar area, their neck, which has all the veins with the blood going through. So if you cut someone here, they just bleed to death real quick. So you tend to take your chin down and cover this area when you're not really comfortable. So tilting the head is always like, look, I'm showing my neckline off because I trust you. So it's always good to tilt the head. But besides, if she had her head not tilted, if she were like this, still, she looks accessible, even though I covered her second eye more than she actually does. I did it Vigilant Citizen style here. If you check that site, Vigilant Citizen, they always talk about the one eye sign and the hidden eye and stuff. Well, she needs to look three-dimensional. Seeing needs two eyes. If you have only one eye, you see the stuff a bit flat. You yourself. But otherwise, we looking at her. If we see just one eye, and now I said I covered it citizen style, which is a totally covered eye, covered by hair, covered by shadows, by a hat, by a hand, by fabrics, by, a mirror, by a curtain, by all sorts of things. So that one is like you're hiding. I mean, that person having just one eye is hiding somehow. So we don't like that. And also, it's not what we're used to see, okay? We know that this one, we just had beavers. We know this one here. What's that? A human face. So what's that? Well, not really a human face is this, but two eyes and a mouth, that's a human face. So when we don't see that in pictures, but obviously we know right away this is a face, that's kind of estranging us. We don't feel at home. We kind of get into thinking mode and we are at unease. So because we are at unease, we don't really like this person. So why would they do that to themselves then? Well, they are part of the media. When you go check Miles Mattis talking about the genealogy of people, he's like talking about Jennifer Aniston, and I don't know who she's linked to, but just like Brad Pitt being linked to, I think it was him being linked to Hillary Clinton, and then Jolie is linked to Obama. I mean, how can that happen? It's because it stays within the family. It's their businesses. This media is their business. So they don't mind how they come across. And even on the Google search interview, she admitted, or she just said, she's not watching this and that. They don't read these magazines themselves. They don't do it to themselves, get themselves into this uneasy kind of, position. And also they don't watch the screaming soaps. When you watch Friends, you have them screaming a lot at the top of their lungs. Why is that? Well, as you know, if someone is whispering, you don't feel threatened, but somebody screaming is in danger, needs help, or is attacking you. So your adrenaline gets flowing. So when you have adrenaline flowing a lot, you get into bad body conditions, which is called illness. It's like all the radio plays, or on TV also, different kinds of volumes. You have the ads always being louder, so that one to your body feels like you're being screamed at. So what your body does, even on the radio, when there is like TV presenters constantly screaming at you, and then the music is a bit more mellow, again you have this difference in volume and you feel screamed at. Your body will react with those. There are, I think, 4 stress hormones: noradrenaline, adrenaline, the other 2 I can't remember, something with sterol, I don't know. So when you have them constantly flowing within your body, you slightly get more and more sick. Sickness is just, I'm at unease, I'm nervous, I'm tired, I'm burnt out, I'm suicidal, I'm schizophrenic. Sorry you can't see, but it's just a few steps towards total illness, and they're working on that, on us, by constantly, making us. The first one was at unease. The tension just builds up from there on.